But here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The one and only Devin. Whose business are you digging in today, man?
Eggs and ass. They both went up this year. You didn't know that?
Listen, Mama, here's your boy, and he got something to say.
I've always believed firmly, on paper, I am a white man.
Brother Kenny, Mr. Pound Town himself. Sir,
I'm unbothered. I'm getting ready to go walk my fish again and fly my cat. That cat in this whole 4 years. That's all I'm gonna do.
Listen, y'all.
We apologize.
I really try to control my show as much as I can, but when y'all get started, oh my God.
It's TFG tonight. With Brenton Haynes, Kenny the sports guy, Mr. Lee Black, and the lady of the hour, Miss Devin Divine.
Ooh, wait. What is good, everybody? What's up, Real Estate Insider? Good to see you, man.
What's up, Trey? What's happening with you?
Yeah, thank y'all for joining us, everybody. Good to see everybody here. I know, again, we've been on this long enough. Know all y'all ain't gonna speak, so that's fine. But I just still speak to y'all. That's what Mama said, right? Just be nice to folks. So good, man. Y'all having a good Friday?
Yes, 3-day weekend. I'm feeling good.
3-day weekend?
Yes, sir.
That's good. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I guess I had an unofficial start because, anyway, I ain't going to incriminate myself. But yeah, so.
How'd you call it in sick? It ain't nothing wrong with you.
What? Listen, I ain't scared. You know what? Don't play with me. I still got 400-something hours of PTO ready for them.
I know that's right.
Need to be called in.
What? If they get rid of me, they owe me. You going to run me my money. Yes, sir. All right, well, let's start playing around. Listen, y'all, if we say something you like, please, by all means, there's a cash app at the bottom. Feel free to show your, is it benevolence?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for some reason, I think benevolence has something to do with funerals. But I
I'm
don't.
glad you didn't put it at the bottom.
Well, because you definitely would have butchered that one.
Try me. Bet me 100. I don't know how to spell it.
I'll take that bet.
Yeah, okay. You run me my money, Kenny. You better stop playing. All right, well, listen, I ain't gonna mess around. Listen, y'all know how we do it now. Too much Trump be doing, so I just got to round robin my family. So I'm gonna hit y'all with one question apiece, and then somebody want to chime in on something I'm talking about, then fine. But I'm gonna start with sister. Sister, I got a question for you. Trump ain't going to his son's funeral, Trump Jr.
Oh, his wedding. His wedding.
I mean, I said funeral. Ooh,
yeah.
Man. Okay, yeah. See, thank you. His wedding, right? I don't know if it's second or third, or I know at least it's seconds, but I don't know if it's more than that. But his daddy say he too busy. He ain't going to his son's wedding. Now he got time to do everything else. He ignoring everything else. He'll go play golf. He'll worry about putting up that building, putting up that arch. But all of a sudden he can't find time to go see his son at his wedding. How you feel about that?
And I feel like he don't like him. Like Trump give me one of those like rich people who just have kids for legacy, but he don't actually bother to fool with them. He probably like to play golf or something. He probably don't know nothing about him. If he got any allergies, what's his favorite food? Y'all know some people like it's non-rich men who act like that. They just have kids for legacy, but they don't really want to deal with it.
Wow, that's a word for the day. Because listen, I don't know if he don't like him or his mama. Who knows? You just, sometimes
you probably don't like her either.
Well, sometimes you a product of your mama. So if the daddy don't like it, probably they don't like his mama. So I don't know, but yeah, that's what he said. He ain't gonna go. But all right, Kenny, what's his name? Jeffries, Hakeem Jeffries. He the minority officer in the Congress, but he wanted to put a little pressure on black folks, the Black Caucus, because all this, they finna get rid of Clyburn. They getting rid of them 2 boys in Tennessee. All every district now. All of a sudden,
I thought Clyburn was safe. I thought they was. Oh, he's not safe. He's the highest ranking, the longest ranking, I believe. Okay,
yep,
right.
The courts let it go through. And so now Jeffries want to pull an audible and try to throw a Hail Mary to tell the football players, hey man, y'all don't go to these schools that's doing all this,
SEC,
And I don't know, because I don't think that they've done enough for me. Because again, here the reality is y'all had years to try to figure this out, decades. but y'all been sitting at the table with each other. And now all of a sudden the fire's getting hot. Y'all ready to try to, but again, so I don't know. I mean, is that unnecessary pressure that they're trying to put on these boys?
I think it is. I get the reasoning behind it. Just, because of the states that's really doing this gerrymandering. You got Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee. Those 4 states are big SEC schools. And far as men's athletics, football and basketball programs, that's $1 billion industry, just talking about SEC athletics. And we all know the majority of those athletes, college athletes, men and women, it's probably, we're looking at 70% of them look like us. So I get that what Jeffries wants to do, but I mean, let's be honest. The NIL deals that these college athletes get, when you go to SEC school, you're talking about you getting student athletes that may be coming from a background where they ain't never had no money. So you telling me to tell them not to go to that school and they get offered a $2 million or $3 million NIL deal? I get it. I understand what they want to do, but I don't know. You should be asking our college students to take on a task like that. That's
a great point, right? Because again, it's so many alumni you can ask for, right? The Shaqs, all those football players in the NFL that's already retired. Why don't you go get them? Go get Herschel. I mean, no, he already.
Yeah, that's not. Don't say Herschel Walker.
No, I'll just tease. But I'm just saying, like you said, these kids haven't got their money yet, so that's really funny. But y'all don't want to go ask the old dogs. You know what I'm saying? The ones that's already been, that have a voice, that can move a needle a little, one or two times more. So I don't know, but. There's just so much going on in that. So again, I don't know. Y'all need to take care of y'all business because y'all made this mess. Don't be trying to.
And if you want to send those same athletes to an HBCU school, they don't have the funding to give those type of NIL deals too.
And that's what I'm saying. You're not offering no money.
Right. And this president said that he was going to help HBCUs, had them presidents in there parading them around like some decorations on a Christmas tree. Bruh. And he ain't gave them a doggone thing. Matter of fact, they've cut funding for HBCUs. So, what can you do at this point?
Put your money where your mouth is and incentivize these boys to go somewhere else then. See? I don't even do that. Right. So, okay. See, again, I don't know. I said it's for me. All right, Lee Black, I got a good one for you. You know this slush fund that he got, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know how the media is playing this now. They saying this is a $1.8 billion slush fund.
Mm-hmm.
They lying. I want you to see if you can pay attention. Do you know what 1776 is? 17. Wait, but watch this. 1776 is the exact number that he's asking for in the slush fund, and that's the year that's a dog whistle for me, because that's the number that these boys be putting on them flags.
Right.
Yep. On that 3%, I'll see 3% on somebody's truck, and then it'll say 1776.
See, they playing. Mm-hmm. They playing. He specifically is dog whistling his people by that's exactly what he asked for. And all of a sudden, the news won't say almost 1.8. No, say the number because y'all know what it's gonna get to. See, they playing with us, Black. 1.776 billion to be exact. And y'all want to pay these fools reparations. Y'all let y'all dog mind. Go ahead.
Well, that for me is what has aided in the distrust that we are experiencing at the highest levels right now.
Yes.
Because I never seen anything like this in my time. I'm only 58 years old, but we're probably in the midst of the most corrupt politician administration in human history.
Worse than Nixon.
And I say that. I'm talking about Hitler, Idi Amin, third world factions. This is probably the most corrupt administration ever, and the media is complicit.
Yeah.
The idea that we've got to a point where they no longer call them out on anything, and they're complicit in even covering over something that blatant out of fear of displeasing him. What does it say that this whole thing is coming about? Partially because he can tell the IRS, you need to give me X amount of dollars and you can never sue me again.
Or his family.
He's literally being allowed to rewrite history, and the media is complicit. The puppets that they put in front of them, they won't. Media has lost all credibility. Where's the Walter Cronkites when we need them that would call out exactly what you're saying? But rather than state the obvious, they're complicit and calling it something else the same way. Technically, we're being told that we're not at war anymore by his declaration, so he doesn't need congressional consent. So this is what's contributed to the erosion of trust, period. I don't even go to CNN or Fox News or any of them for my news. I do what you just did. I read it for myself. I make my own determination because I've been saying this for all my adult life. A person is smart, but people are very stupid.
Yeah. And I tell you, this is the United Stupid of America.
You got that
yeah,
right.
Yeah. So again, I just, and now all of a sudden, this is why I really have lost any respect for these politicians, because all of a sudden it took all of this for y'all to get mad. For y'all now, listen, it's so funny. All the people that Trump has in the Republican Party that Trump has gone against as far as these elections, now all of a sudden they want to now be against the ballroom. They all of a sudden now you want to be against where that backbone, man, y'all some suckers.
And let me add to that, shame on the Black Caucus, shame on the NAACP. Why did it take the House to be on fire, but now you want the poor people to run in and put the fire out? You're asking young individuals, as you guys just established, who you want them to fight a fight that you should have been fighting all along. Right. The voices that were dissenting, they've been put out. Letitia Wright, Jasmine Crockett, they stood on the forefront. Where was the men, particularly the Black men? And so even when you showed up his State of the Union addresses, the way they disrespected Obama, where was that vitriol? Where was that fight? So you're putting all your eggs in a basket, hedging on some fucking midterm elections. Because now you want the ground campaign to get out and save your asses. Where's your sacrifice? Where's your salary? If you want these student athletes to make that sacrifice, then fund them. Then you come out your own pocket and make sure you fund them. But you're asking them to do something that you weren't willing to do. First of all, this baby could have been strangled in the embryo.
Well,
let's keep it real. The fact that he was allowed to come into power a second time, when with the stroke of a pen, you could have simply passed a law saying a felon can't hold office. Where was the pressure that y'all should have put on the Biden administration? But here we are now, where he doesn't give a damn for the rule of thought, rule of law, constitution, or whatever. And now you, as the Black Caucus, as the NAACP, you want our sons and daughters to sacrifice their future to fight your fight. F you and the horse you rode in.
Be careful with that horse, though. It may kick back. All right, y'all. That's just a little bit of what we can get into. That was like just 45 minutes of the whole week.
Yeah, it's always so. Shout out to Charles and his daughter. His daughter's graduating tonight.
Charles,
Congratulations.
Congratulations, everybody. Shout out to everybody who's graduating, except for people who's graduating from kindergarten. I don't even know what that means. Don't even know what that means.
Hey, leave the little kindergartners alone, brother.
You leave them alone.
Yeah, leave them alone. They figuring out that you can't eat paste and crayons no more, so they graduating from that.
No, I didn't even go to mines when they did. No, what is this for? I'm protesting. Okay. All right, listen, y'all. I got a quick follow up, and I got to do an in-house follow up because people be watching the show and folks got stuff to say. And Lee Black got a really big voice over here, and so Lee, I'm just offering you an opportunity to clear up something. Last week you said that you was ready to go spend some time with the other ethnicities. And so it was questioned that, so now you ready to treat the whites and the Asians and the Mexicans nice, and you've been, scruffing the necks of the blacks. And so, well, that's what he say, neck scruffing. So again, so I just want to know, the family wants to know, are you planning on are you trying to find some nasty no goods in the other ethnicities, or are you trying to turn over a new leaf?
So thank you for this question. And I welcome the opportunity to express it. So for the record, I've scruffed the necks of anybody. When them lights go out, there's no color for me. What I was alluding to though with that piece of last week was the fact that we were talking about how white women let the secret out the bag of the fact of how they're attracting these black men. And I talk about the fact that I appreciate the fact that other cultures are intentional and they're smart about relationships, whereas we as African-American men sometimes don't always get that treatment from the sisters. It makes it difficult. But for the record, I could go on that tangent. Let me be clear. I don't think I've ever said that I have any love less for sisters. If anything, I'm always attracted to black women, always will be. I struggle with now that whether or not I believe in black love in its current state. And what I talked about was the fact that I left a city where I was disgusted with what I saw. I'm very hopeful moving here to Dallas that the black women that I'm going on my personal experience, that they will be different. And I've opened that door to be able to date the others, because where I am at this place in my life is I don't want to work that hard. I don't want a contentious relationship. I don't want to fight with you. And I'm certainly not going to date at the level of what I see happening. So I hope that it's very different here, but trust and believe this is not, it's never has been, never will be at the exclusion of black women. Now, in terms of how I treat my nasty, filthy, no good bitches, anybody crosses that threshold, you can get it. I don't care what color you are. If that pussy don't have too much of a smell to it and them head skills are good, I don't care what color you are. You're going to get treated the same. You're going to get something stuffed in you, and you get put out before 3 o'clock. White, black, and everything in between.
Thank you, sir. And we'll be right back.
This is a test. This is only a test.
Sister, why you looking like that, sister? Never mind. I mean, nope. I already see where this will be going in just a second. We're going to move on to the next step for that. So for all
that's a great segue, by the way.
yes, you're right, because he won't ever get into this app.
hell, me either.
I don't even know what I never look at the topic, so I can't wait to hear it.
Oh, I did.
Well, listen, y'all. I've never did a dating app. I'm too old, and I was married by then, and it just waited too late.
You didn't miss. You ain't missed nothing.
I heard. Well, I want to see if y'all gonna miss this one. There's a new app going. I guess I don't even know if it's going viral, but it's getting a lot of attention. It's called Celibate. And this is a dating app. And apparently this app is supposed to be used to focus on casual swiping, typical of mainstream platforms. It emphasizes meaningful connections over convenience, value-driven matching, tailored to individuals who want to build authentic relationships based on shared values. Sister, how long you think this app gonna stay?
Forever. I love it. I would have been the first one on that app. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Would you?
I should I honestly was a serial dater as a single person. I dated everybody.
Okay.
And they usually were very short-lived because a lot of people get on these apps for is something, or if they think they can sleep with you, and that's just not who I am. So I may in 1 month meet 10, 12 people. And then as soon as they say the wrong thing to imply something, we just don't ever talk again. So something like that would be perfect for me because for one, some men don't care to date you if you're not going to sleep together.
Right.
And two, I don't care to sleep with you before you get to know me. And so I think it just takes care of all of that. I would love it, actually.
Okay.
I might end up with a gay dude because that's probably what's on there. But but I would have tried.
Man, so Kenny, that's the whole point, right? She said she's ready to get on there. So I'm sure thousands of women are ready to be on there. But that thing gonna be ice cold because ain't no brothers getting on there. Especially listen, they used to have to charge at the clubs just to get some interaction, right? So I know good and well this app ain't gonna get much of nothing. I mean, Kenny, what you thinking?
It's definitely going to be filled with a bunch of women. It's going to be very few men on it. I would say that because, but then you're going to have some guys that's going to be on there faking though, because it's going to be trying to front like they celibate or they abstaining, and they trying to see somebody they can maybe conquer or move them off of their whatever that may be. But I think with any of these dating apps, it's they have their runs. I think this one will probably have a pretty decent run, but then eventually it'll turn into Plenty of Fish.
Yeah.
If you've heard of Plenty of Fish, that's the ghetto of dating apps. Just to let y'all know.
Look at it. Look at him.
Lady D, I've heard, but anyway. But so is it a great idea?
12 gigs a day on Plenty of Fish. I'm like, and I would say before I block them, what woman responds positively to this? Like, why would you send me your penis? Like, what is going on?
Right.
Well, I'm sure Lee could answer that, but we're not asking that. Okay. So, but Lee, this is really interesting. Kenny says that the women up there are trying to abstain, but I think it's going to be some men on there that's trying to do some abstaining. So,
that and everything else. I think it's going to be very popular for men. I'm a lion. I happen to be an old lion. Now, with that said, I can't run as far, can't run as fast, so I take easy prey. But if you show me there's a new pen where all those great deer are, I'm going to find my way over there as well. Now, Lady D makes a good point. I personally don't trust a man that don't want no pussy. That's just me. So my thing is, this is chess, not checkers. If you're telling me that you're going to congregate all in one place and I have to portray myself as being celibate, which I am celibate right now. I'll celibate if you buy a bit. So I'll portray myself that I just need to tell you what you need to hear to get you between these doors. I'm certainly qualified to have that conversation. Now, if you want to talk about education and how we feel and all that kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, the goal doesn't change. The devil don't have to change his tricks. It's still about getting them musty draws off you. And so there is going to be probably a heavy population of gay men who don't want no pussy whatsoever. And they'll be on there competing with the women to see if they can get penis. But then I think it will attract people just like me. What the movie Harlem, them good clean girls. I'll be
well, oh my goodness. Well, all right. Well, ladies, if you gonna sell a bit, he gonna buy a bit. So I guess
boy, that's wild.
That's a good old Capricorn right there for you. Y'all.
So, you're right about that.
We'll follow up and see what they do, because I don't know if it's gonna make it or not, but it's a 50-50, right? So all right, there it is. All right, y'all, let's keep this thing moving. Income class. So apparently, we've always talked about the classism in this country, but what I've found interesting is that they've actually changed the rate of class as it relates to what was. So if you know, I'm talking about lower, middle, low, upper. Sister, you know the class that you in right now?
I do not.
I ain't gonna ask her to tell. I just don't know. You don't know? Okay, Black, you know what class you in?
I'm poor.
You
right there. Yes,
liar.
I am.
You're a liar. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, man, ain't no better than that. Man, go get crab legs every other day. Talking about he poor.
I'm poor too. Damn it, I'm poor. I'm poor. I'm worse than that. I'm in the poor class.
Right.
I'm dirt poor. Yeah. Kenny, you know what class you in?
Oh yeah, I definitely know.
Okay, well that is. Well, listen, y'all. I thought I knew, and I guess things changed now, because apparently, according to this report by Jeff Ross, he's a CFP. I don't know what that means, but poverty level now. You are considered poverty level if your income is under 30,000.
Oh yeah, that's definitely true.
Good Lord. So they said the description of that person is struggles to cover basic needs, food, shelter, and etc. I know that's a lie. I know a girl make $10,000 right now driving a Mercedes. So I know they're lying. Yeah, it says lower class. That typically makes between 30,000 and 55,000. Then you have lower middle class, which was 55,000 to 115,000. Then you have the upper middle class, 115 to 165. Upper class, 165 to 250, and you're wealthy if you make $250,000 a year. Man, where has time gone since the 80s? Oh my goodness. Yeah. I could not believe that now that you are considered. There's no way, because they have to be using two different scales, because when it comes to people getting food stamps, ain't nobody getting no food stamps making no $30,000. Ain't no way. So I don't know. Black, go ahead. What you think about this?
So I think that is possible. And the problem with a study like this is it's skewed. And it's like anything else. They're not factoring in the other socioeconomic factors that we don't talk about. You know what I'm saying? In the game of Monopoly, there are those that have continued to pass go and get paid. And there are those that every time they get towards go, they have to pay the income tax or go to jail or something else, and they fall back. So based on that scale, being fully transparent, I would be lower, middle class or whatever. But what they don't tell you is the fact that once you factor, they're basing it on salary. But once you factor in high rent, utility bills,
your spending,
spending habits, you know what I'm saying? If you don't want to send your children to the better schools, don't want to have the basic necessities, because then guess what, folks? That $120,000 gets eaten up real quick. Real quick. And so to be classified as this, that, or the other, meanwhile, the deck is stacked against you. Let's take something as simple as you want to buy a house. Let's say one person makes $120,000 a year, and another person makes $85,000 a year. But this person that makes $120,000 a year, when he want to go get a loan for his house, he gets charged a higher interest rate simply because he's black, simply because the economic zip code that he lives in. So this person now that might make $85,000 a year, but they might be the right color, and all of a sudden now the doors swing wide open, and all of a sudden they get interest-free loans. They get to take advantage of all kinds of set-asides. So you don't think that matters?
I ain't never heard of an interest-free loan. I wish I would.
I'll finger discount. This is the difference between white and black, and I told this story a million times. Working, as a real estate agent, we all lost our job on a Wednesday. Me and one other guy, black, we both go to the bar to drink in the middle of the day. Me and Fred, his name was Fred, and we sitting there and we commiserating over what the hell are we gonna do. Every single white person there was drinking and tossing it back and laughing, because they knew I'll call my cousin, I'll call my uncle. And I could do this and I could do that. We simply don't have the resources at our disposal. So you almost have to make twice as much as some of them to simply be able to drive a quality car, have quality insurance, live in a quality neighborhood. I, living in Atlanta, was paying $2,100 a month for a 1-bedroom apartment, just so that I could live in the same quality and have the same standard as this motherfucker that lives, someplace that I can't even be in that neighborhood after dark. It's not fair.
I apologize for triggering you, sir. I'm sorry. I gave this man a trauma back. He done been gone from Atlanta for about 2.5 weeks now. I done traumatized the man again. All right, y'all. Well, listen, y'all, wherever your class is, or you classify with your income, just keep hustling and do your best. So that's all I can tell you. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, sir. Listen, ain't no sports tonight, but
it is.
Is it?
Yeah, we got some, and that's what we're talking about, and we're gonna get in and out so we can get to these other subjects, because it's kind of the slow time of the year for sports outside. We've already had the draft. Now we're waiting really for NFL training camps to start, pretty much, and all that. But we got the NBA Final Four going on, so that's what we're gonna talk about real quick.
Okay.
Eastern Conference Finals, Western Conference Finals. Matter of fact, Spurs and the Thunder are tipping off right now. NBC. That series is tied 1-1, and then we got the Knicks and the Cavs, they play tomorrow night, 7 p.m. on ABC. Knicks are up 2-0 in that series. But I'm just gonna ask, out of those 4 teams, Thunder, Spurs, the Knicks, and the Cavs, who would you like to see in the NBA Finals? Because let's be honest with you, none of them. There's only, in my opinion, there's only 2 teams that's kind of sexy that's left. I'm gonna give you my 2 when we end. But out of those 4 teams, Lady D, which one do you think the average viewer, not the basketball fan that watches NBA, but just the average viewer, actually wants to see in the NBA Finals?
Well, I think the average Knicks, everybody would say the Knicks, but I was kind of rooting for the Spurs just because of where I live, obviously, but the Knicks.
Okay. So you think you want to see the Knicks and the Spurs in the NBA Finals?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Brother Brendan, who do you think?
Yeah, I mean,
Most people want to see.
Most people want to see. They want to see offense. So you want to see. I want to see the Thunder and the Knicks play because them Cavaliers, and I mean, if De'Aaron Fox was back, then I wouldn't care who came out the West. But man, them boys have like what 30 turnovers.
Yeah, that was Stephon Castle, but the Spurs are playing some ball. But anyway, yeah, you're right. Hey, I already know what this man up here. I already know who you want to see. I already know on the eastern side, but on the western side,
Lady D nailed it.
Yeah.
If the Knicks make the finals, you correct me wrong, Mr. Sports, that will be the first time they've been in the finals since, is it 1999?
Bingo.
So
right.
That would be epic. Now, I would want to see them play the Thunder because I think that would be good basketball. But I think ratings-wise, the Spurs, Wembanyama, if he can take this young team
a great story
to the finals, I think it puts the NBA on its head and it challenges the Thunder from stopping a dynasty. I love everything about Wemby. I wasn't a fan, to be honest with you. I didn't watch any regular season games. I become a fan during the playoffs. Wemby he's 22 years old. I love how he plays, the chip on his shoulder. He let them know, I ain't coming, I'm here. Yeah. I think ratings-wise, it would be phenomenal for the NBA, but I would rather see the Thunder against the Knicks.
Well, yeah. Well, we know the Thunder are the defending champs, so right now they are probably the favorite to at least get to the NBA Finals. But for me, I would rather see the Knicks and the Spurs. Just because obviously the Knicks are in the #1 market. That's the #1 television market in America. That definitely NBA wants to see that. And I just think the Spurs, I'm with it. That Victor Wembanyama, the 3-headed monster that they got a young nucleus with Stephon Castle and De'Aaron Fox, he's not going to play tonight. He still got that ankle sprain. Stephon Castle got to get his turnovers. Hey, what's up, CC? But I would like to see that 7'4" Frenchman, man, because I think we have seen the changing of the guard. I think. Oh, sure. I think this dude is going to be the face as long as he doesn't get injured. Go New York. Okay, all right. New York. Yeah, I see you. Real talk for real, man. The only thing with Victor Wembanyama, because he's been. Hey, listen. Game 1, he had 41 points, 24 rebounds. Listen, this young fella got it. My only concern about him with that size, normally with players that size, they start having issues with their lower extremities and they start having foot injuries. But I think the NBA wants to see that. But I think this Western Conference series is basically a heavyweight bout. I think it's a really good series. As far as the Knicks and the Cavs got an Achilles heel with James Harden. That boy can't play defense. He can't stop a nosebleed. And so I think this series is over. I think the Knicks is going to I think they're going to – I ain't going to say sweep. I think it'll be a gentleman's sweep. I think the Cavs will win one game. But I think the Knicks are basically going to the NBA Finals. And now we're just going to see who duke it out between the Thunder and the Spurs.
Now, how soon did LeBron get to the finals?
He went to his first finals in, 2007?
Oh, so 7 years or something like that?
No, it's like 5 years.
It
was like 4 or 5 years when he took Cleveland, and they got swept. They got swept by the Spurs, but I think it was like 4 or 5 years. But
yeah, so if women Yama get there first, then I mean sooner. That'd be nice.
Yeah,
she said you right about Harden, Kenny.
yeah. But anyway, so that's what we got. NBA. Matter of fact, again, they about to tip off. OKC, that series tied 1-1. I'm gonna be watching that once we get done. And tomorrow night we got the Knicks and the Cavs on ABC at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, not Eastern. My bad.
Yes.
So, there you have it.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I just, go to New York. I appreciate him just using his name, because he just hit you with so many. He's like a Muppet, Kermit, Fozzie, Gonzo. You just never know who he gonna come in and be. Thank you, Mr. Real Talk. All right. Well, listen, I got a good subject for us today when it comes to talking to AI. And yes, I'm talking about these children.
Ooh.
And I have a question, y'all. I had to ask AI, what does it mean to raise spoiled brats? And I asked, what are the top 3 signs that you are raising a spoiled brat? Now, I want to ask y'all this before I read these questions. What percentage would you give parenting versus just the innate ideology of the child, as far as who would take the brunt of the blame for these kids growing up like this? Sister, what would you level that percentage?
As far as the percentage of the parents or both.
Is it more?
Who's more responsible?
Is the kids most responsible for this ideology, or is it the way the parents are doing it, or
it's us punk ass parents?
All right, Black. What would you put the balance?
80-20 parents.
Wow. Okay, Kenny, how you swinging this thing?
95-5 parents.
Whoa.
It's 95% of the parents' fault.
Good Lord. I can't wait y'all to hear what this computer said at the end. All right. Well, listen, this is what the computer said. Let's talk about it. So, top 3 signs you're raising spoiled brats. It says raising children who exhibit spoiled behavior can be concerning for many parents. Here are the top 3 signs. Number 1, which is obvious, entitlement attitude. It says children who feel entitled often assume they deserve special treatment or rewards for minimal effort. If your child regularly expects to have their demands met immediately and without question, or becomes upset when not given something they want, it may indicate a sense of entitlement. Okay, so it sounds like they're giving that to the parents. What you think, sister?
I completely agree. And as soon as I saw it, the first thing I thought was entitled.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't think every parent makes it entitled. Like they set rules, and these kids still have. So here it is, Kenny. Would it not be peer pressure to see kids looking at other kids that get things and do things? I'm telling y'all, I got a kid right now. My son know a kid that got a Nintendo Switch. They paid $500 for it, and he thought he finna get one. He thought he was finna get one.
Right. But that's not on the parents. That's just a kid being a kid.
That's what I'm saying. Right.
That's just a kid being a kid wanting what his friends got. But but that's not coveted. That's
a sin.
But as a kid though, that's basic. That's how kids think.
Yeah.
If they see they run with partners, they got something that they like. As a kid, you're gonna be like, dang, I wish I had that too.
Yeah.
Then you get up the courage to go ask your parents, hey, dad or mom, Joey got this new thing. I think it's cool. You think I could get one? Hell no, you can't get one. That ain't what we doing over here. So there you go.
And I don't think the response got to be that heavy, but
well, some parents do go that heavy.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah, I Black entitlement attitude.
That Lady D was spot on, and that was the first word that came to mind. But here's why I give it 80-20.
Okay.
Even on this one, that sense of entitlement. My problem comes in where it's intentional on the parts of the parents. But I think sometimes that sense of entitlement is unintentional. And talking with a lot of parents, especially these new age parents, they've swung their pendulum so far to the other end as a response to their own childhood. When you think about, we've taken corporal punishment out of homes, we've taken it out of schools, We've taken discipline out of schools. So a lot of these kids, not a lot of these, all of these kids now, they're growing up in a far different environment than I did, where there were rules and responsibilities and a sense of community. And so to the example you gave, I do say some of it is on the child because they're looking at the grass is greener and they're growing up in an environment where most of these kids today, they don't know what a rotary phone is. They have never been to an actual library. They don't carry physical books. And so punishment for a lot of these kids is go to your room where waiting on them is a tablet, a laptop, a flat screen TV, a video game, things of that nature. And so there is built into just their world, their daily world that they're growing up in, a sense of entitlement that these things, this is what I'm supposed to have. TikTok, the most popular app in the world, they're bombarded more hours than you as a parent can spend with them, seeing images where kids that are younger than me are in homes that I'll never get to live in, living and driving cars that I drive a Nissan, for God's sake. And so there's this built-in sense of entitlement to them that sometimes is intentional, where parents go overboard and a response to, well, I want my kid to have everything I didn't have, but sometimes some of it is unintentional.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think you brought up the point that I was going to bring up as I go into number 2, which is, see, we used to just see commercials on TV, after watching the show, but these kids are inundated with the internet. So they're seeing everything, right? So again, if there's something big, it probably take you 2 or 3 weeks, maybe even a month before it kind of got all the way around. Everybody wants this new thing. But now the internet, man, everybody sees it, everything right now. So it's just crazy. But yeah, so I think the internet is really, and I guess I didn't add that to it, but I think when you look at the internet, that kind of really, in my mind, shifts a little bit because a lot of it's not on the parents because these kids are being, that's what advertisement does. It influences. We all have the innate ability to want things we can have, but the internet makes it so much more reachable for them because they see it so much. So yeah. So all right, number 2 says lack of gratitude. It says a spoiled child frequently fails to express appreciation for what they receive. If your child takes gifts, privileges, or your efforts for granted and rarely shows gratitude or acknowledgement, it can be a sign they have not developed an understanding for the value of what they are given. Now, sister, I think y'all right about that one. That's on the parents.
Yeah. But my kids, even if they weren't grateful, they better pretend to be. So I didn't really have that problem.
Oh, yes, I believe you. I do believe you. Kenny, I can see how, again, kids are sponges, right? They come out the womb knowing nothing. Everything they do, it's come from some learned behavior. So again, we have to correct those things. And clearly,
you have to teach them. I think, and teaching a kid to be thankful and grateful for stuff starts when they can start walking, when they can start actually reaching for stuff, or you start teaching them to say thank you or please,
right?
When they can begin to talk. That's where it begins. If you don't put that in them at that time, they're gonna just think they get things they expected. They don't say thank you or yes ma'am or no ma'am or whatever. They just think that they're entitled to everything. So it begins with, again, I think it goes back to the parent. You got to instill it in these children so they can, it'll be in their DNA.
Yeah. And I think spoiled is kind of overused because a lot of times people will call children spoiled who parents are providing them with nicer things than they can have.
Right.
And that's not those kids' fault. You know what I'm saying? It's about the character of the child. That's literally what we've been looking at, how they are responding, how they are behaving. Because yes, my kids have more things than I had when I was younger, but that don't mean my mama didn't do her best to give me all that she wanted to. You know what I'm saying? And so again, that's just a child. But here's where I have a really, strong opinion about this third one. It says the inability.
I didn't get to add my 2 cents on that one.
Oh, I didn't give you one? My bad. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well,
yes.
I just wanted to add to that. I wanted to take it a step further. Brother
Okay.
Kenny and Lady D are 1,000% correct. And this one, that's where I give the parents 100%, but Kenny nailed it. Attitude reflects leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And so the truth of the matter is we've, again, gotten away from simple, basic decencies of teaching kids to say please and thank you. And so that's where that comes from. Now, here I'm going to take it a step further than you, Brother Brenton. They've also taken the negativity out of the word spoiled. Just like we have now embraced nigga and we've embraced bitch and hoe, spoiled is not necessarily a negative thing. There are many young people and adults who wear that title with pride. I'm spoiled. My daddy spoiled me. My parents spoiled me. And these same spoiled children grew up to become spoiled adults with that same sense of entitlement, expecting things that you haven't earned to be given to you. You have kids that think it's their birthright. They wouldn't even drive a Nissan. It's their birthright that you have to get me an X or a Y or a Z car. And so for them, when they hear the word spoiled, there's no negative connotation to that. The fact that you're putting that in AI, we know what it means, but they've taken the negative connotation away from that. And they're proud to say, I'm spoiled. Oh, you have to spoil me.
Yeah.
And that's a part of the problem.
Yeah, when I look at that, I think about spoiled being something that's going bad. That's what spoiled means, right? It's not any good.
That's antiquated.
Right. But the thing I'm saying is, if what I am giving to my kids gives them an ability to have a better future, then that's not spoiling them, because that's not going to go bad. That's helping them get further along than we were able to do. So I think people need to make sure that whatever you giving your kids, if it's going to make them worse over time, then yeah, you're spoiling them.
For me, it becomes bad, my brother. Anything in excess is too much.
Okay.
You know, I'm a fat black man. I love me some carrot cake. Now, if I sit my fat black ass around and eat it every night, then it's going to be bad for me. And it has led to me having high blood pressure, picks it in the bucket.
Yeah, no, you're right. Well, that's a good segue into number 3.
Pissing in the bucket it is.
Well, the inability to handle disappointment.
Oh, okay.
You got to be able to handle it. It says the inability to handle disappointment. If your child reacts with extreme frustration, tantrums, or sulking when they don't get their way, or have to face a minor setback, it suggests they may not have learned how to cope with disappointment. This inability to manage negative emotions often stems from being accustomed to having their wishes granted without challenge.
That's on point.
The parent. Yeah, that's on the parents for sure.
No, for sure.
Well, I think when they're really young, that's expected, to be disappointed when you don't get your way.
Right.
Hell, I get disappointed when I don't get my way. I mean, but I get over it. You know what I'm saying? And it may not even be something from someone. It just may feel like, I just feel like I want this item and I can't have it, or I want this and I can't have it. So there's disappointment. I think the teaching is in, it's okay to be disappointed and sad, but you get the hell over it. Like, you don't take it out on people, or you don't, you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't linger. You shouldn't be like angry and acting out, because that's what I saw sometimes with one child in particular. When they didn't get their way, they acted out. So I think that's kind of the difference.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. He's itching.
That 80-20 again. So 20% of this is external factors. One, we've taken ass whoopings off the table. I'm a fan of corporal punishment. That was a topic today on D.L. Hewley's show. Fascinating. Listen to that. And how many new parents now swear by the idea. And I'm not saying I'm right or wrong, but ass whipping is no longer on the table. But there are external factors. There are consequences now for, telling kids no. We've lost the power of no now. And so we've ushered in an era of society where everybody's a winner. There's no disappointment. We've lost sight of what it means to be able to cope with disappointment. Right. Because of social media and all the external factors, everybody's a winner. I miss the good old days when you were told, no, you're stupid. No, you're a dumbass. No, you can't have that. You're not good at this. But we give out participation trophies for everything. Everybody's a winner. Nobody's a loser. You can have anything you want. So the message that we've sent to these generations past our time is that, of course, you can have it. And so these kids now aren't able to cope. We talked about social media. If they get teased and whatnot, they don't want to go to school. They don't want to log in. We grew up playing the dozens. We grew up telling each other, you fat little bastard, your mama stinks and your house stinks too. They can't cope with that. And so these external factors have led to, a part of the problem with a lot of these little ratchet, spoiled sons of bitches who can't cope or haven't been told no, and they think they're entitled.
Yeah, well, Kenny, I mean, to Lee's point, the good Lord, I lost my train of thought. Go ahead, Kenny.
Well, I would say this. I'm the direct opposite of my good brother Lee. I'm not a fan of getting beatings and whoopings. Never have been.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking from my own personal experience because out of my 3 children, if they were on this live show with us tonight, they can say, I think my pops maybe spanked me once, and that was when they were infants. I've been big on communication because I grew up in a household with my mama. She gonna put the belt on you. I didn't get many whoopings because she put the fear in me. My brother now he was a habitual line stepper. He got his ass whooped. Me, nah, I wouldn't try to do all that. But so I grew up thinking like when I had my own children, I was going to find a way to be able to communicate with them, sit down and talk to them, listen to them. And we're going to talk about this behavior and we're going to figure out a way to do this discipline thing. Again, I didn't say I didn't spank my children, but there were very few and far between that I gave them because I was able to communicate to them when their behavior was not up to par. We're going to change this or some things going to be taken away from them.
Yeah, what I was going to say was I think the overcorrecting of how kids used to be treated is the reason why they want everybody to win now. No, you just treat everybody fair, but we won't do that because again, people feel like you're getting cheated for something. So the answer was everybody wins. Well, no, that's not the truth because then you remove disappointment, and that needs to be a part of life, right? It has to be. Because that's not the reality. Listen, I'm teaching mine right now. Listen, I gotta tell you now, because if you don't, then you ain't gonna understand that when you broke, busted, and disgusted. That that's a part of life. So no, nobody should get everything, not even rich people. But unfortunately, and that's why anyway. Okay, that's a whole nother conversation. All right, well, good. Thank you, computer, for telling us about these spoiled brats, and I think that was a good conversation. So good. All right, sister. Well, speaking of spoiled brats, God rest her old soul, but yeah,
I was really trying to mind my business, and I ran across this story that at first made me really sad, but in reading the comments, I was like, I guess it's a new world today. Recently, a 75-year-old woman died in a Tim Hortons in Fort Wayne, Indiana, after she entered a restaurant to complain about her drive-through order, and she ended up in a physical altercation with one of the employees, and she eventually died in the restaurant, and no one has been charged. And I'll just give you a description of kind of what the video was. Like, she went through the drive, she ordered like probably some coffee. It's like a coffee house, and her order was wrong. She went in, she started going in on like the 17-year-old employee, and the manager stepped in between. She swung on them, and they didn't give a damn. 75, and they end up getting into a tussle. She hit her head, and the daughter's upset because she said her mama had cardiac problems, but mama took a chunk out of one of their hair. She was feisty. She was in there fighting. She was on them. So I'll give my opinion, of course, after all of this is over. But Brenton, like, do you think it was appropriate for this 20-something-year-old girl to be fighting a 75-year-old woman, even if she did swing on her?
I'm an equal opportunist. Don't put your hands on me.
Yeah.
I don't care how old you are. If you're a baby, if you're an old lady, don't put your hands on me. Because listen, I come from the era of the Von Erichs. I put the iron claw on you, and I squeeze your temple. So yeah, no, don't don't touch me, and I mean that. Yeah, listen, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is what people gotta understand. I'm gonna get out the way. Like, everybody, whoever that old lady been around, they took her junk. Right, they took her mess and they let her. So again,
because of her age, yeah.
I don't know. Well, she could.
No, I'm just saying because of their age, they probably just who she was. Yeah.
Boy, I almost told somebody business. But yeah. So anyway, so again, like, everybody not gonna respond the same way. So make sure that you with the people you normally with when you acting a fool, because you put your hands on me. I'm telling you, I'm going back to Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, and I'm gonna send you going to Kansas. Yes, sir. I'm going North Kansas. You hear me? I'm taking you up to see them Jayhawks. Yes, sir. Don't put your hands on me. I don't care who you is. Yeah.
One of the comments, or several of the comments, kind of, Kenny, leaned into the area of your mama ain't my mama. Like, you know what I'm saying? Your mama may be able to put your hands on you, but your mama can't put your hands on me just because she's somebody mama. Like, some people felt like I'm somebody mama too. But I don't go around put my hands on folks. Do you think that it was appropriate for them to go back and forth with this elderly woman?
I do. It's unfortunate. I mean, but she came in there. It sounded like to me she the one instigated it. We all were taught to respect our elders, but let's go and keep it real. I don't care if you 74, 75. If you come in there and you get the disrespecting me and then put your hands on me, I have a right to defend myself. And it's unfortunate that this 74-year-old lady passed away, but she brought it on herself. You came in there being honorary, think somebody gonna respect you just because of your age. But like you said, that comment said, that wasn't that worker mama. You ain't my mama. You just some regular woman off the street. You coming in here, you checking me and hitting me. Yeah, I'm gonna defend myself, and it's unfortunate that happened, but it is what it is.
Black, can't even believe I'm asking you this, but we were raised that you respect your elders, and back in the day, somebody else mama could tear your behind up, and you just got over it, and you yes ma'am, and you went back in the house. But in this situation, does it still matter?
You asked the right. You literally went where I was hoping to go with it. I wish it did, Lady D. And that's what, to me, is the most unfortunate part. I didn't hear this story. I am curious of whether she was black or white. Can you tell me that real quick?
She was black. She was black.
Also black, yeah.
So, and I asked that for a reason. This wasn't just me arbitrarily want to know. I'm of the mind, it's just my personal opinion. These opinions of leave black alone. I personally feel like the worst behaved people on the planet right now are African-American women. That's just my personal feeling on it, because, and I don't say that to taunt them, but in many ways I'm embarrassed when I see the behavior and the fact that this was a 74-year-old woman. You guys nailed it. Behavior that clearly was gone unchecked, for whatever the reasons were, whether it was her age or that, I'm gonna get you told and this, that, and the other. And to your point, Lady D, what's truly sad is that we're in a different time now. We're in a time now where that respect and that sense of community for the elderly, it just doesn't exist. You guys remember when the pandemic first hit? That was the last time the world was afraid. And I say this all the time. In order for the world to stop ever again like that, to be afraid, it'll have to be a big eye that'll appear in the sky. Aliens will have to land. That was the last time the World Trade Center attacks and the pandemic, when the world collectively was afraid and stopped. And why am I bringing that up? Remember when the pandemic first hit, there was a sense of community at that time where they enacted, at least in the state I was living in, where elderly people got to go and shop early and first. And I was so happy because the traffic was light and we remembered what it meant to treat the elderly with a sense of respect. But that's not the America that we live in. That's not even the world we live in now, folks. I frequently get angry because when I'm driving out past 6 o'clock, when I go out tonight and leave here, I think older people should keep their monkey ass inside. If you shouldn't be out after 6 o'clock, taking up space and good old fashioned handicap parking space, you got all day to get your ass out there and do what you need to do. And so to see this woman acting that badly, behaving badly in that circumstance, it cost her life. But it should matter, but it doesn't, because the scriptures tell it, the world tell it. We in a different place now where, as Brenton say, it doesn't matter anymore. You step out of line and cross a lane, there's no sense of love and decency. Folks, that's gone. Anytime they can rape elderly people, rape children, putting a beating down on a 74-year-old woman, that's par for the course.
I think I would have yes and no ma'am her to death at first, and ma'am please, or calm down, and please don't swing at me, ma'am. Because I may have to. I don't want to have to hit you back and be disrespectful. So I still would have tried to be respectful and to kind of talk her down. But let's be honest, our teenagers and young 20-somethings, they don't even have the communication knowledge to be able to talk to. They don't even know how to de-escalate a situation like that. Their communication skills are trash when it comes to that type of thing. So where I feel like someone older may have actually been able to get her to not. But I think when they started talking trash back, that also made her more irate, because she's also probably not used to anybody talking to her that way. So it did make me sad, but when I saw Your Mama Ain't My Mama, I totally understood it. But I also would think at that age, I wouldn't go around swinging on folks either over a $3 cup of coffee. So just condolences to her family, and I hope you don't act like your mama, because you might get your ass whooped and end up dead too. Because not everybody gives a damn that you are a certain age, and she's probably clowned, like y'all said, her whole life, and people just let it go because that's her personality. But lesson learned. I could think of a few people that I could send this to now that are elderly that like to talk shit and fight and carry on. I know a few.
You going exactly where I'm going, Lady D, because I will push back. I would say we don't have to give a lot of this older generation respect, because the way they come at us, they can be disrespectful in the way they talk, and they come at the younger generation. So just because you're older don't mean you can come and talk to me any kind of way.
Very true.
And that's why I say what you just said. I'm like, again, it's unfortunate, but you got what you got because you were trying to do too damn much. You need to sit your ass down somewhere, go get you some Folgers and make you some damn coffee at home. Yeah.
And y'all forgetting these folks be talking about they got mental problems now. Listen, everybody ain't saying that. Look,
right, exactly.
You're so right. I'm glad they just hit her and didn't shoot her, because folks clown these days.
I know, right? Yeah.
And again, maybe she should have been shot and she wouldn't have suffered that ass whooping. I'm gonna go back to minding my business right now, y'all.
Oops. Yikes. Yeah. All right. Yeah. We don't discriminate, honey. We do not discriminate. Stupid is stupid. All right. 6 stages of marriage. I've been this thing for over 2 decades now. I don't think I ever thought about 6 stages of marriage. Does this even make sense to you, Devin?
It made sense to me when I read what you posted.
Oh, really?
It definitely resonated with me. It made a whole lot of sense.
Okay, well, I'm interested to hear what you got to say, because well, apparently there's a study that says there are 6 stages of marriage, but most couples only they give up at stage 3. And so I just want to get y'all's opinion about this situation, and let's see what it's talking about. So stage 1 is the fantasy stage. It says you picture the perfect life together. Everything feels magical, effortless, and existing really hasn't. And exciting. Reality hasn't arrived yet. I don't know if I would be married at that point, but we call that honeymooning, right?
Yeah, that's the honeymoon stage.
Okay, right. So honeymoon, fine. That's fine. Stage 2, the reality check stage. It says the mask come off. You begin to notice flaws, habits, and wounds. The question arises: can I truly love them as they are? And I don't know. I think this is why you kind of take the time and date people, right, before you get married.
Right.
So I'm really not sure if this is in a stage. Like I should
No,
already.
I agree with
No,
that.
no, I agree with it. No,
agree
it's
with it
definitely a
because-
stage. Yeah.
Because the traditional dating thing is not realistic.
Yeah.
Okay, so you saying as of this? Well, back in our day,
In
you know what I'm
new
saying?
relationships, people do. Ideally, you would want to, like you said, get to know somebody, but guess what? People get married, and then that mask comes off. I'm agreeing so far.
Okay,
Yeah, definitely on point.
but I mean, Devin, in a marriage, I mean, again,
Y'all be
Are you-
faking like a motherfucker. Y'all just come
Oh
in
my
as
God.
somebody totally different on your little horse and shit. And
He's
until you
right.
get-
We're not
you-
gonna do this tonight, ladies.
yes, we are. Yes, we
We're
are.
not
Because I'm
gonna do
ready.
that.
Fellas,
You're not gonna
fellas.
say y'all.
fellas,
You
I
gonna
got
say
it.
we. You gonna say
No,
we
fellas.
come in
No.
here faking.
Go ahead, Kitty.
I got it,
We-
fellas. Hold
we.
on. See, baby, this Devin fault. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I told that woman of mine before we even got married, I said, I hate driving. She said, oh, I love driving. Oh, I drive. I do this. I drive. Oh, I drive. I was like, yes. You know who don't drive?
Yep, there you go.
I
Exhibit A, Devin.
mean,
Exhibit A.
we be in the garage, getting in the car. No, I'm dog tired. I done pulled out the garage up by the light. I done made a left, about to get on the freeway. Oh, did you want me to drive? Did I want you to drive?
At least
I
she
mean-
was helping you. She was trying to be helpful, just ungrateful.
I done told you years ago I hate driving. What you mean? That was one of my prerequisites from the jump. So no, I don't know.
And when we driving, you talk shit the whole time. That's probably why she don't like driving, because you're gonna passenger seat to death. That's why she don't drive.
That's a lie.
Lady, T, prayers to you and your husband.
Lady T,
What happened?
yeah.
Hello, family. Just
Rest for
getting
you,
home.
Toria.
Oh, well, he in the hospital, but he does not know.
Thanks for popping in.
Definitely
Okay.
sending prayers your way for you and lady
Yeah.
and your hubby Isaac.
All right, Mr.
Get well, big guy. I know the big man upstairs got you.
Yeah, okay. Well, good to see. Thank you. Hopefully we'll, bring some light, not on this segment because we finna get into it, but on the next segment.
On the next segment.
Okay, anyway. So, all right. Well, I ain't gonna keep going there with you, but we're gonna go on to the next one for Miss Toria's sake. Yes, Miss Cece, thank you for sharing that for Miss Toria. All right, so listen, number 3. This is when everybody shuts it down. It says the frustration stage. This isn't what I signed up for. Arguments sting deeper, doubts creep in, and you wonder if you chose the wrong person.
Yep.
Yeah, they doing this backwards for me.
It's definitely on point for me. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's on point.
Yeah.
What's on point? Because again, this is okay. Come on, what's on point? I got something.
And I'm just speaking from my personal
Sure,
experience.
yeah.
Every stage that you've read, that's
Mhm.
what the stage I went through with my ex-wife, peace be upon her.
Mhm.
Stage 3, that happened probably in the 3rd year of our marriage. We were for me, I was at stage 3. We had 2 small kids at that point.
Okay.
And I was really questioning, like, did I really pick the right person? I don't know. I can't speak for Bridget, peace be upon her, but she may have been going through those same things. I can't, but I know that what I read, what you put, this is exactly this was a blueprint of my marriage. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3.
Okay. How long did y'all date before y'all got married?
Only a year.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Didn't live together or anything like that. So,
yeah, no, for sure.
So we didn't really know, we didn't really know each other, to be honest with you.
Right. And I guess I want to plug this in right here too, because again, when we talked about vows, right,
Mhm.
we didn't know nothing. People weren't
Right.
even teaching us stuff. So again,
Right.
I hear what you're saying, and at the same time, I want to just establish the fact that again, we go on a job, we go to school, people teach us things, but we get married, nobody want to teach us nothing, right? And that's jacked up. So yeah, okay. So I'm with you when you say that. Then what were you gonna say, Black?
I agree with Brother Kenny. Now, for me, at that stage, I didn't question her that I chose the right person. There were external factors but it definitely at that point was like, well, I didn't sign up for this. I'll leave it there for right now.
Yeah. Okay. Sister, was you finna add something?
No. I truly agree. I just think people get to it at different parts, different aspects in your life. You know what I'm saying? And I also think that's just when you get really comfortable and some of that warm fuzzy shit wear off, and then you be like,
Okay. So then, because again, when we go from stage 3 to stage 4, it's going to be kind of interesting to talk through this. But because I know we talked about before, like falling out of love with people, and I was trying to figure out. I remember this conversation like it was yesterday, because I was asking us how we fall out of love with people, but we don't do it with our kids, or we don't do it with our parents. And I don't remember the conversation. It's been so long ago, but I remember that was one of the questions that I did have about that. But so this is interesting then, because I want to see how we're gonna transition between stage 3 and stage 4.
That's what I'm waiting on.
Yeah, stage 4, the growth stage. It says instead of trying to change each other, you start to understand one another. Boundaries are respected, and love becomes a conscious choice. So again, if we're saying that people normally, they jump ship on stage 3, well, apparently there's a lot of immaturity there, because apparently stage 4 is growth.
Yeah.
And I took the coward's way out.
Right. And I would say this. My marriage got stuck at stage 3. We didn't get to the stage 4, which in my opinion is where you should be in counseling at that point. That's where marriage counseling should be, the stage 4, to talk through the issues you're going through in stage 3. We got stuck in stage 3. We never made it to stage 4. So even though we still loved each other, we didn't make it to stage 4.
So would premarital counseling have to help?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if it would have helped me.
It would have helped me. It would have. I think it would have helped us.
Where me and my brother Kenny, we truly are brothers from another, and we are that Janus coin. There weren't children in my marriage, so I took the easy route because there were no kids there. I did reach that point where I didn't sign up. I didn't think it would be this hard, but I looked. Even I never fell out of love with her. We literally split, and saying goodbye and moving her to another apartment. The very next day, she came over for dinner. So our friends didn't understand what we were doing as to why we were splitting. But I took the easy route because it was easier. There were no kids to hold us together. So it wasn't that I fell out of love with her, but I never let that stage set in because we were way too young. And I didn't have anybody to look up to. I think when I dream right now on May 22nd, whenever I dream about being married, that's the only face I see. All the nasty bitches I've been with, when I think of a stable, a married relationship, it's my ex-wife face, because I feel like I failed her. I did, to your point, Brother Brendan, I didn't have the maturity to deal with hanging around long enough to get to stage 4.
I think that's important. That I'm glad you acknowledged that. Now, sister, you said, I think there's a lot of variables that, again, to each individual, it's a case by case basis. But sister, you said premarital counseling matters not.
No, I completely agree. I mean, because I feel like before, in the beginning of the relationship, I feel like you're still that other person. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think you'll be completely transparent and all of that, because you don't want to push the person away. I think a lot of premarital counseling assists of, let's talk about our finances. Do we want a family? What religion are we going? Are we going to raise our kids with religion? I think you start talking about just the basics of what we've been told marriage is. You don't start telling the truth about the shit that you're not going to like about that person, or I got a short attention span, or and you also may not know that you're going to be this person when you get to stage 3, because stage 1 person is not stage 3 person a lot of times, because the stage 3 person is frustrated and overwhelmed and sick of this motherfucker. And so it's just a different person.
So let me ask you this, and I love you, so I ain't throwing no shade. So let me ask you this: do you feel like in your second go around you kind of skipped a couple of stages, or do you think you?
Love that question.
Like, do you think like you? I'm not saying like. So say for instance, your first one was 1, 2, 3, you out. So did you go from 2, 3, 4, or 3, 4, 5?
This one I haven't skipped any stages. The previous ones I did skip stages because
Mm.
previous relationships, you ignore a lot of the red flags. Like shit, we were on 2, 3, right from the jump, and I should have known that. But you had underlying reasons why you choose to stay in the particular relationship. My last marriage, which y'all know I wasn't a fan of, like I should have known. I mean, of course, it got worse at the stage 3. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I still had them goddamn dumbass glasses on, me thinking this person is going to change and stop being stage 3 and become like I thought we'd go backwards, but that's not what happened.
Yeah, and I will say this. Y'all know we have conversations, and I think whatever you land with this, I think y'all should be introducing this stuff to y'all kids. At least giving them something.
And I do have these conversations with my children. Like this one, I was deliberate in how, like, we dated for 2 years, not living together. And then I lived with him for 2 years without being married, like after the engagement. So there was a 2-year engagement and living together. And then there was marriage. So
okay. Yeah, so we got to do better. Got to give our kids a better chance than we had. So y'all come on with this thing. All right, stage 5.
Motherfuckers don't listen. I got to say that. But yes, I do have these conversations with my children.
Well, as you see, I didn't say they gonna listen, but at least they can't say ain't nobody tell them. I didn't say that. Yeah, I didn't say listen. That's fine. All right, stage 5. It says the true love stage. You've weathered storms together. Having seen each other's worst, you still choose to stay. The bond is now peaceful, passionate, and deeply connected. Now, I want to say this too, because I found this interesting because stage 1 through 3, it exposes our immaturity. Stages 4, 5, and 6 is showing like who you really are, right? For those who play sports, right? Sports has a very amazing way of showing you yourself, showing you if you're a quitter, showing you if you're a person that can endure pain, showing you how weak you are, showing if you got thin skin, right? Because even your teammates sometimes get at you. So again, marriage really has a way of showing you yourself. And it seems like as you see these stages, it kind of shows you how you are as a character, how your character is, right? Because again, you're gonna push past it. And again, no shade for people who, again, like Black said, he took the coward's way out. But again, that doesn't mean anything. I still hold true that nobody taught us stuff. So again, this is us doing Monday Morning Quarterback. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
I just want to comment. There's a flip side to everything. We're talking about the literal 6 stages. Now, just because you've weathered all these stages doesn't necessarily mean
you're happy
marriage.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because at this stage, I know people right now that have hit that is still married. They got to that stage. They put up with each other's cheating, bullshit, and for their own reasons, they stayed together. And so for me, that's unacceptable.
Yeah,
I personally could not stay I know couples that for years they've stayed together because whether they've seen each other through their worst parts. That don't mean the marriage is good. Now I'm on the outside looking in. Let me be clear. And these 2 motherfuckers might love each other to death. But my thing is, I'm looking at things that I know personally, know where the skeletons are buried. And I know for me that my tolerance level is like, I couldn't stay, but they're still there.
Yeah, I will say this though, because again, you talked about the storm. They said weather the storms. Now I can sit in a thunderstorm all day, but if the storm is a tornado, like you said, y'all cheating on each other back and forth, or it's a hurricane or it's an earthquake, that's a whole different type of storm, man. So again, all storms are not equal. So I don't want y'all. Okay. Sister, what you think about the true love stage? You weathered through.
I think that definition is BS, if I'm being quite honest. I don't think that's what that is. I mean, because you may go through things like somebody losing their parents and you kind of stuck through it or whatever. But when I really when I think about weathering the storm and people staying together, the people that I know that have weathered storms and stayed together, sometimes they don't even like each other. They're just complacent. They don't want to start over. They don't want to have to take care of themselves financially. They don't want
so they have selfish
her
motive
or him to have somebody else, but they low key don't even like each other, but they love each other and they'll be there for each other, and they go on trips together and fake the funk on Facebook. But I don't believe that's real.
Yeah. Again, one storm, and again, I'm not talking about anybody's relationship. One storm I can't fathom is when a couple has lost a child and then trying to like regain that relationship. Man, that's a tough pill to swallow for me. So, but Kenny Black, what you thinking?
Man, I never got to that last stage.
Well, yeah, sure, right on. Yeah.
And I can be transparent. I was wanting for us to get back to that stage
after y'all separated,
after we divorced.
Okay,
and we were kind of on the road to spinning the block, so to speak.
Okay,
2 weeks before she passed away.
Oh wow, dude.
So that really lives with me, because I was like, we never stopped communicating. We always had love for each other. We just didn't know how to make the damn ish work.
Yeah.
But I think we were figuring it out as we, was going about it. But then, again, I was hoping that we were getting to that stage 6, but we never got to that stage 6.
You know what, man? That's interesting that you say that, because now that I'm reminiscing about being there at that, event with you, I can remember looking at your countenance. So now that you're saying that matches what I saw on you.
Yeah.
Which was, y'all was crazy, man. Yes. You're right. All right, Black, would you even say something? So I'm gonna get this. 6.
No.
Okay. All right. So this is 6, and then I it's really interesting. It says the legacy stage. Without even trying, your relationship becomes an example. Your love story inspires others, leaving behind something lasting and meaningful. Now, this is interesting for me because, again, I don't look at this thing as stages, but I'm looking at my kids' ages. And so now for me, I can see this, and I do have a certain level of importance. That's why, again, going back to talking about spoiling the child, I think we'll just make this a Black love series, because I think this is just really good to just have this conversation, and I'll say the other one for next week. But I want to say this because a lot of times when we talk about spoiling your kids, people would think I spoiled my children, and I didn't. But at the same time, for those that's listening, that's a difference between spoiling your kids when they're children and then spoiling your kids as an adult. Because in my mind, spoiling my children as an adult is me giving them good credit scores.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I gave them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I gave them the opportunity. All of them got a car. Now, again, there was some spoiling moments there because some entitled moments there because I had to pull some cards. Hey, listen, don't play. But so again, I spoil my children as an adult because if you're doing what I'm teaching you, then yeah, I'm ready to go to war with you.
Right.
But if you're not listening to what I'm telling you, well, shoot, you're gonna rot.
Right.
And I mean that. So yes, legacy is important because you do want to see your grandchildren and great grandchildren. And listen, I don't envy no, I ain't gonna say that because folks gonna get mad at me for saying something. I ain't talking about nobody. All right, go ahead, Black.
I clearly didn't make it to this stage. probably never will, and that saddens me. But I like the fact that they called it a legacy stage. When I hear the word legacy, you don't all the time get to choose your legacy. Sometimes you do. Sometimes it's intentional that you put forth the effort and this is what I want to leave behind. But last year, I attended my sister and brother-in-law's 47th wedding anniversary. And it was a beautiful affair. Now, you might say, well, why didn't they wait till they was to the 50th? Well, my brother-in-law has had multiple heart attacks, and he wanted to do it now because the reality is he might not be here.
You talking about Sherry, right?
No. I'm talking about Harold and Lynn.
Okay. I'm just making sure I'm putting everything in my mind.
In Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and her husband, Harold. And Harold's the closest example I have to what a father figure was. I owe a lot of learning what it meant to be married and be a man and be responsible from Harold. I didn't grow up with a father. But the word legacy, to sit there and be a witness of their marriage, and for those that know them best, they don't have a perfect marriage. It went through all kinds of ups and downs, The fact that they weathered all of those things and been through so much, and the legacy for me when I hear this word and as it pertains to this subject is to see all of their children present and their grandchildren, and it wasn't a testament to the fact that the marriage was perfect. The legacy for me was a testament of the example that they set of sticking it out, staying together, and even watching their kids who are struggling and finding their own way in their own marriages and relationships. And me, even as an outsider looking on, it's what I would love to have. And it was so cool to see two people that have weathered those storms and have stuck through, and they've hit this stage of comfortability to where they know each other, and all of that catting around that he or she might, that's gone. That part is gone out of relationships. And there's a genuine aura that I witness around them, and the love and outpouring externally that was showed to them, because there were many of us that sit in this audience that didn't make it to us. We will never know what that looks like. And I truly appreciate when I run into couples that are making this work. You two right here, Lady D and Brenton, my respect for what you're doing is more than you will ever know.
Right.
I'm a fuck up. I'm a project. And the fact that Lady D is working on marriage number 2 and you're raising your family, marriage is hard. I never did it again because it's very difficult. And to see you two making it work, that for me is the bar. Y'all might not know this, but that's the bar that for me, that I could get to a place, Lady D, that I could find that second chance. I feel that I burnt up all of mine. And Brother Brenton, your example of being a husband and a father, I love you so much for the example you setting for Black men that you will never know.
I appreciate that, man. You hear that, girl? You hear what I'm doing? You don't forget that. No, I'm just teasing. All right, sister, legacy.
I mean, I'd love to get there. I feel like we're both setting up the foundations for our children as far as legacy. We do have frequent conversations and set up trust and, you know, just lots of different things and lots of different examples to show them as far as how to make things work and how to kind of make a choice and how not to be bamboozled and so tolerant of a BS in the beginning. And so, I mean, of course, I'm not there yet. I haven't been married that long, but I'd love to be there. But the only way people ever get there is if both people truly want to be there, or if one person is just tolerant as hell and is okay with being an absolute doormat and get kicked on, stomped on, beat on, because we know some older people who have tolerated a lot just to get to that quote unquote legacy stage.
Yeah. For me, I used to really enjoy when people would compliment my children around us. Oh man, you have your children. And don't get me wrong, don't appease me just because you think you see a Black family here. I'm talking about people who just really appreciated, you know what I'm saying, what we were doing for our children. And again, I want to see that. My chest sticks out very big for my son, you know what I'm saying, right now, because of what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? And he's 19 and he's talking to 25-year-olds and they're mocking. I mean, they're jealous of him. And so they're trying to like make fun of him because he can't drink. Well, y'all alcoholics, fool. Yeah, no. Yeah. My son called me. Listen, boy, always call your daddy. Because listen, I got comebacks for days. I talk about them, their daddy and their mama. You know what I'm saying? I don't care nothing about none of them. So again, but it's funny because my son had to remind them, y'all, I'm just 19. That's right. And y'all 6 years past what y'all been doing for the last 6 years. So when my son's 25, so again, my daughters too, they need to listen more. So that's all I'm saying. So again, I love all my kids, but yes. So when I saw that, I said, okay, I can see that. But you know, and not to try to compare to other people, because I'm cool with everybody do. Y'all do what y'all do. I want to enjoy. All my kids got to give me one room with a recliner and a TV when I come to their house. That's what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And so, and I can't wait to go on trips and cruises with my kids and they children, because none of them got kids yet. And so I'm good. Y'all ain't got to be no granddaddy till I'm 55. So just wait. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it together. So yes, there is some level of expectation for me. You know what I'm saying? And so again, I'm willing to do what I need to do to get there. So yeah. So I think this is a great conversation about.
Wait! You ain't let me talk about my legacy. I'm the grandparent on this panel, and you know, I think if you follow me, you guys already know. Toria says you better leave Miss Haynes alone if she don't want to.
Why you so far back there, Miss Toria? You get on back up here with us. We talking about
Lady
this.
T. No, Lady T, hit him. Tell him. You told her right. You told her right. Yeah, you know.
I see you with the king, my brother. I see you with the little king.
Yeah, you know, my legacy thing is, and I say this: it's about my presence, and it's not about presents. It's a different spelling, and I think if my children, my 2 sons and my daughter, and my 2 grandchildren, they're gonna know that their dad was present outside of the presents. I was able to help them whatever they needed to do to help them get to certain material things, but I just wanted them to know that I was going to always be present, that you're going to be able to physically see me. I was going to always be physically there to be there for you no matter what. And you know, the thing is, it's just me now on this side. The mama's gone. So I am their connection. So that legacy for me means a whole lot, because I also, like I said, I look at my grandson and I look at my granddaughter and my 3 children. That's my tree. That's my legacy. Them my branches. You feel me? So and I can say that I gave them something that I didn't get from my own father. Peace be upon him. So that's my legacy.
Well, great conversation. I appreciate that, and I just want to put on record. I hope. When I see this video years later, one of my kids ain't dating one of them. I'm just telling y'all now, so y'all won't think I'm lying later. That's gonna be a problem. Don't do that. So, all right. So I said it, so they won't say I'm lying. All right, sir. Oh no, that's what we're gonna talk about next week. I'm sorry.
I was giving okay.
We'll talk
Here
about
we
that.
go.
No, we'll talk about that next week, because that is really interesting. She says, I love Doodlebug.
She talking about my grandbaby, my granddaughter.
I'll be looking at the videos.
Lady T,
Okay.
Yeah.
So you called back up with us. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, sir. Listen.
Thank you, Lady T. Appreciate you. Love you to death.
This is not my stop. I can't remember. I bet you ain't never rode a bus.
Now this is my stop.
Oh, this is my stop. I'm sorry.
This is my stop.
Yes, sir.
So I hope when you read that, it makes you think about, you know, the old-fashioned getting on a bus, and how many of you remember having to, because I have rode public transportation, and you have to ding, this is my stop.
I do.
You know, so, and when I thought of this topic, I recognize that unfortunately our demographic is not the young people, but this is going to pertain to them, and all of us here are parents, so we can share this for anybody watching and go back to watch it. Charles popped in earlier, and congratulations, my brother, that you know
congrats.
You got graduating, big moment.
Right.
So here we are, May 22nd. We on a long Memorial weekend. Logged into work, long story short, and found out 3 hours in that my black ass was supposed to be off. I was actually on PTO. Mad as a mother. Stayed up extra late. Could have been sleeping late.
Right.
I promptly clocked the fuck out. And now here I am going on 6 weeks in Dallas, and I'm like, well, what do I do? Because for over 11 years, well, I would say 5 years, but certainly I was in a position where I have money, I have transportation, and I don't have nowhere to go. So what do I do today? I'm off early. I decided to ride to South Dallas and just kind of ride around this, that, and the other. And I was watching CNN earlier, and they was talking about Memorial Weekend and what people were going to do and how expensive gas was. And some people were saying how they were going to bite the bullet and they were going to go ahead on and go anywhere to have a good weekend, you know, because even though gas is up more than $2 over the national average. And it got me to thinking about how we're going to spend our time in the face of all the things that we're bombarded with right now. And if you like me, you're probably tired of all the stuff we hear. We started with the Trump and the politics, this, that, and the other. But there's so much more going on, folks, that I'm exhausted, to be honest with you. I ran my errands. I got me some I found a good old soul food place, got me some catfish. I got my wine, and I'm going to curl up and watch TV. But when I started thinking about what people are facing this weekend, we're in Memorial Weekend, it's graduation time, and I look around, especially if you're paying attention to social media over the last few weeks, folks, we got Met Gala, Coachella, the NBA Finals, the NFL is about to start spring training. We even this early talking about the Super Bowl, the R&B concert, Chris Brown and Usher's got a concert coming up, folks. We got all these elaborate proms where people go to extremes to make sure they celebrate their kids. We're bombarded with celebrity worship, not to mention the various podcasts that talk about relationships ad nauseum. Oh my God. And then, we got vacations, destinations, and just general entertainment, Essence Festival. We're planning for all kinds of things. Why am I bringing this up to you, folks? We're living in the matrix, people, in case you don't realize. In this show, Organically, you ask about income. The gap between the super rich and the rest of us is larger than it's ever been. I don't know if you guys are paying attention that Elon Musk just this week released a plan that would put him on track to make him the first trillionaire in human history. Mm-hmm. What does one person need to have that kind of money? What does it say that to have that kind of money, he's already the richest man in the world, that he's willing to fund trips to Mars and space stations and everything else? But haven't you guys noted that he's not willing to give anything to the poor? If you followed the Met Gala, beautiful to look at. And of course, I watch because I follow that kind of fuckery and foolishness. But I hope you know that all of the dressing up, the costume, this, that, and the other, that money is raised millions of dollars, multiple millions of dollars is going towards philanthropic causes for the super rich. And that money is not dispersed to the homeless, veterans, children, people who are battered wives or anything. None of that happens. Meanwhile, sitting at the very top of the economic world, we have a pedophile, and along with his sycophants, who is instituting $1 billion slush fund, but yet they're coming after me for student loan debts. Young people can't buy homes anymore. We can't afford cars. The average car note for a car now is $800. $800, folks. I just left the grocery store today. I brought 2 small bags in. It cost me $60. I can't even tell what the fuck I brought in. I didn't even get my crab legs today, folks. We'll get them tomorrow. But the fact that every time I make a trip to a simple grocery store at Kroger's, I spend $50 to $60 and can't even barely remember what I spent. And so, folks, what's happening in our world, this matrix we live in, with all the things that's going on, the super rich, and we're in the most corrupt political administration in human history, where our gas prices, our rent, our basic necessities like food and even water, the basic necessities are erasing cultures, identity, history, lineages, and infringing upon our basic human rights to the point where if you believe that the answer is the midterm elections, I have a bridge to sell you. The fact that we talked about the Black Caucus wanting athletes, student athletes, to sacrifice for the better good of the bullshit and situations they put us through. Well, folks, I don't know about you, but I've had enough. And like the movie The Matrix, maybe it's time that we get off. Is the answer protesting? No, that's what they want us to do. Line up in the streets and burning this, that, and the other, because it takes away from the real story is the fact that whatever side this is not political. They don't give a fuck about you, folks. And so my answer to us individually is maybe if we stop participating in the very system that's taking advantage of us, that have commodified our attention and distracted us with everything but what's important to us, and we stop feeding into that entertainment system, then maybe we can actually make a difference. And I'm not advocating for anybody to become antisocial. So if you got kids you want to celebrate, do so. If you got places one of you are going to go, do so. You can't take this shit with you. But I am imploring you to make better decisions, to be more intentional about how you spend your dollars, especially if you're African American. Because right now, people, they are preying on who we are as a culture. They don't want to see us, but they want to be us. Our economic dollars drive the economy. And so maybe, folks, if we stop breathing life into the machine, that we can actually make a difference. We proved it recently when we boycotted places like Target and other big businesses that didn't have our economic and political interests at stake. And so I'm asking us individually to talk to your families, talk to your people. You want to plan a trip? Do so, but be intentional. It's Memorial Weekend, and this is the beginning of summer, folks. So while you're thinking about giving your money to Mickey Mouse and Disney, who don't give a fuck about you, and while you think about going on these staycations, vacations, and everything else to places that's willing to take your money but don't want to treat you as human, decent citizens, folks, the machine only breathes because we give it oxygen. So guess what I'm going to do tonight? I got my wine, I got my fish, I got the game on. I'm going to curl up and take me a hot Epsom salt bubble bath, pamper my fat black ass, and who knows, I may get on one of these dating sites we talked about and get me a nasty, filthy, no good bitch over here, and it ain't gonna cost me too much of nothing, because I'm gonna be intentional about where I spend my dollars. And for me, I've had enough, and I am tired of feeding the machine. And so this is my stop. This is where I get off.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you, brother.
You were driving that, you drove that straight and narrow, and you just had to take that detour, didn't you? I said, boy, he was on Interstate 20 for a long time.
He was.
All right.
So he was.
Well, thank y'all so much. Listen, great show tonight. I appreciate everybody for all y'all did today, and we did some good talking today. So I hope folks go back and take some good information from this. And when we come on to the show next week, we'll be at Lee House the next in 24 hours after that. So
that's right.
Yeah. So I just say what happens at Lee House gonna stay at Lee House. Y'all ain't saying nothing.
Right.
I made put some highlights up here. Y'all see a real drunk Devin and a real drunk Lee. We're gonna
Don't drink outside of my house.
I know that's right.
All right. Well, Lee, you got some work to do, buddy. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah. All right, Kenny. Come on, brother. Give me your final thoughts, man.
Oh man, great show as always. Love being with my fam. Thank you, Lady T. We definitely praying for you.
Yeah,
as well as brother Isaac, man. Hopefully, whatever you guys going through, the good Lord is going to heal him from whatever illness and whatever ailment that he's dealing with. CC was in the house. Appreciate you, love. As always, Trey was in the house. The real estate insider Charles was in the house. Congratulations, Charles, to you and your daughter. I know you're a proud papa because I know how it is. I got a daughter too. With them girls, they a special place in our heart. No diss to my boys. I love them too. Something about them daughters. They get you right there. But I want to talk about the marriage, man, stages, man. And I just want to encourage my marriage couples out here. And I want to encourage the two that's on my panel. Exactly. Lady D and Brother Brent. Marriage is a beautiful thing. But I also know that it's hard work too. So I think a lot of times the good marriages get overlooked. The work that y'all put in. I just want to say, I encourage you all. Make it work. Whatever you got to do, communicate, whatever it is, make it work. And be known that you support it. Because I think that marriage has gotten a bad rap. I think we see all these new terms now. We got Neo having all these damn women, polygamy, all this stuff. I just think that's just throwing a bad name in marriage, but I think marriage is a beautiful thing, especially when you are two equally yoked people. That's the key. Two equally yoked people. And understand that you ain't perfect. You ain't gonna be perfect, but you can be perfect for one another. So I want to encourage all the marriages out there. Lady T dealing with her husband, his sickness, for better or for worse. That's in the vows. So I want to encourage all the great marriages out there. So that's my final thought, but I also got to throw this out there. We got to give a shout out to, I hate to end on this sad note, but Rob Bass. Do y'all remember Rob Bass? It Takes Two, Joy and Pain. Unfortunately, we lost another hip hop pioneer. He passed away today at the age of 59 from cancer. So
wow.
That's definitely a playbook to my early years, my 20s. Because I definitely know It Takes Two took over the club scene and Joy and Pain. Obviously, he kind of did a redo to the late great Frankie Beverly's joint. So we want to salute Rob Bass, man. Peace be upon you. May his soul rest in peace. Those are my final thoughts.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right, Sister Luck, you got something on your mind.
I don't. I'm doing. No, I really don't. I do want to say, hey, Sherry.
Hey, what up, Sherry?
To Toria, just prayers for you and your family and your husband, and and I'm sure everything will work out just fine. I also want to say Happy Memorial Day to anybody who happened to have lost any family or friends in the military. And I also want to say, Black, he did encourage us to keep our money in the house and don't be paying folks by going on vacation and stuff. And y'all take that advice if y'all want to. Y'all know I'm gonna have my ass in a 2-piece waiting on a pina colada somewhere in the sand.
Where the hell you going, Lady D? Where you going?
Nowhere this weekend. I didn't even realize I had a 3-day weekend. I'm like, but then again, my last several weekends have been so busy. I've always had a lot going on, and I'm still in school. So I'm kind of glad that I get this 3-day weekend, and we're going to tell the kids they can't come over because they like to come over and drink up all our liquor and eat all our food and shit. I'm just going to relax and do homework and maybe go have dinner with the husband and just have an uneventful weekend is kind of my plan. But y'all know, first chance I get, I'm gonna have my ass somewhere on the beach. Even if they don't like me, I don't give a damn. Bring me my pina colada and bring me my fish and shrimp. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to like me. You just need to take care of me. But y'all do spend your money wisely. I do, like I say, we do spend money on things that matter, but just be conscious of where you put your funds, because even me being the way I am, I've started doing a lot of things on my own, including learning how to do my own nails, because I'm not giving them some bitches $200. Just figure out ways to learn to save. I will definitely say I agree, and I encourage you to do so. Enjoy your life, but just be money conscious. Ciao.
All right. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate you for that so much. I sure wish you and your mom was coming down here next weekend, but we'll talk about that later. All right, sir. Give me your final thought.
And I want to pick up where Lady D left off. That was my point, Lady D. I promise you, this is not me in any way advocating for us to live some nomadic lifestyle and deprive ourselves. What I like about what you said is, listen to what, I hope people heard what you said. You work full time. You are in school. You said that you have learned to do your own nails and hair. So when you save, I'm talking about being intentional with how you spend your money. So you've earned it. I'm not advocating anybody to deny themselves for anything. I've worked very hard to get to the stage where I do want to eat fucking crab legs. I spend $100 and something on my crab legs every time I go, and I've earned it. And so I'm not telling anybody to deny themselves, but I am talking about the over-the-top spending for graduations for some of you kids that's the pinnacle of what you're going to accomplish. And so spending $10,000 for a helicopter to ride in for this little bastard who barely made it to high school, and now they ain't even going to college, and now you sitting them little fuckers free on these streets now to be a terror and to get fucked and stuff like that. Be better. We gotta be better than that. We got a whole new bumper crops of new bitches out here and guys too. A lot of these little guys out here can be taking dick too. So my thing is, all I'm saying is be intentional. You know, if you've earned it and you know you work, you're responsible, treat yourself well. Because not only did we lose Rob Bates, we lost Kyle Busch as well. And so for those of you who think that we only focus on African Americans, he died young. What was it, Kenny? 41 years?
41.
And so we can't take this shit with us, folks. I'm looking at tickets right now so I can go home to see Eloise Young, greatest woman that ever lived. That's my mama. So before I can even start back school, I'm on a break right now from my doctoral program. I have to lay eyes on my mama. We only get one. And so my thing is, Mama, I'm coming home. But so my thing is, treat the people that you love, hold dear, close to you, be good to yourselves. But I'm just advocating that if you're relying and bought into the system of these people, they hope that we, especially as African Americans, continue to spend our economic power and dollars into a system that don't give a fuck about us. So I'm not saying not to put yourself last, but I am saying be smart, be intentional, and care for people that matter and treat yourself well. And this show was so organic. You don't want to raise entitled kids, but it's okay to give kids and want a better life for them. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not what I'm at.
Right.
You know. And so with that said, Lady D, do your thing, baby. You're the aspiration. I believe it or not, I'm trying to get to that place because I haven't always treated myself as well. One of the reasons why I moved to Dallas is because I spent 11 years denying myself. So trust and believe, I'm losing weight right now, Lady D. Give me 6 to 8 months, I might put on a motherfucking bikini my damn self.
All right.
We don't want to see that. Oh, hell no. Make sure you don't take no pictures of that ish.
My God, Lee and a Speedo.
Hell to the dog.
Live your best life. Live your best life.
I mean, junk falling out. And everything.
Oh, man.
I'm just like, man.
Nigga, please. Nigga.
Nobody want to see that. And you listen, you bet not have it on Saturday. I ain't playing.
I'm sick of that.
Best behavior. Best behavior. I promise.
All right. You know my wife gonna have her keys in her hands. Yes,
Best
sir. All right, good stuff, man. Like, I'm so excited. I appreciate y'all so much. Quick question: have you ever had a brain fart?
Mm-hmm.
Did it hurt?
Not
or
really.
Did it cost you anything?
Oh, it cost me.
Yeah.
It cost you something. Okay, sister, did it cost you something?
Not that I can recall.
Okay, good. Well, that's a good fart. That was that was like a le punt. It's a good. Well, take a look at this and let's find out how hard a brain fart can get sometimes. Oh man!
Yep, he did it.
Did he do it? Yes.
I said he's not gonna do what I think he's gonna do, and goddamn it, he did it.
He did it. He did it. Listen. Listen. I don't know how slow that boy was, but I'm telling you, for you just to put that thing there, you must have never seen Bugs Bunny, fool.
He must have it. He probably has it. Some of the greatest cartoons ever.
Yes, Wile E. Coyote.
Yes.
I mean, all I'm saying, listen, you can have a brain fart, but my goodness, just hopefully make sure it just don't cost you much. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he gonna be out of there for a minute on that one. So yeah, that's good. All right, y'all. Listen, we gonna be back on Friday unless Devin going somewhere, and he's sure gonna have a headache. Oh yeah, for sure. And we got some good conversation, but then we're gonna go see old Lee Black and Freddie Mo and all them other aliases that he got. And so we're gonna have a good time. So so all right. Well, listen, y'all, that's Devin, that's Kenny, and that's Lee Black, and we'll see y'all in 7 days. We out of here. Peace.